Hello and welcome back to the Mechanical Rookies. I'm at the NEC Classic Car Show and we're going to show you the stand of the SV Club, the young members and the Z Register.
So in between that, we've got some interviews with some famous characters, what I'd say in there. That includes a couple of the stands. We're just going to have a bit of a chat about car stuff, mistakes I've made over their car life, and just a general informative chat. So hold on to your seats and we're going to get straight to it.
Let's do it.
Hello, and I'm here with Mr. Mike Fernie.
Hello.
We're in like full YouTuber mode right now.
Yeah,
we're just small fry. You're like the big fry.
Normally we just sit and like just chatting MGs like this, but today we're doing this.
Yeah, and it includes MGs.
Exactly.
So I'm going to ask you a few questions, and I'm going to hand you over to Sam. So Sam's cooking some questions up over there.
Go for it.
First of all, I'm going to ask you if you like our map.
I do. I have contributed to it. I'm annoyed. Where's the 1ZS 180 on here?
Me.
Yeah, you. Which is a mistake because I've bought basically that car from you. That should be down here in Bath, Bristol.
Seeing as it's been on here 5 years, I'll just like peel it. We'll peel that afterwards.
Yeah. Well, I've got my midget here. I do want a midget at some point, but no, it's a cool idea. This
it's giving you future plans right there.
Exactly
for DriveTribe. Just on the end of that, Kieran was in the sea because he's Southern Ireland, and for some reason we didn't cater for that.
Yeah, so this could trigger quite a lot of people that this was clearly left off.
Yeah, that's not us, so don't blame us. So I'm going to talk to you about. I've never asked you about how you got into DriveTribe. I always like when you bought a certain car off me, which I'll go into in a minute.
Yep, that one.
Yes, that one. I never asked you how did you get into it? I always I wonder how people get places as such.
Yeah. So I was studying engineering at university, mechanical engineering.
Nice.
And I got midway through it, so 3 years of a 5-year course, and I thought I find engineering cool.
Yeah.
I find it interesting, but like, do I actually want to do it full time as a job? It was very much like CAD, spreadsheets. You know, the actual cool engineering stuff was like 2% of what it actually would have been day to day. So I thought, right, what do I really want to do? And then I had a massive breakup, which really kind of shook things. And it was like, okay, what will just make me happy? Doing what I love, and it was basically driving cars.
Yeah.
So that meant it could dissect two ways. Either you become a motoring journalist, or you become a racing driver / test driver. But to do that, you need to have been karting since you were like 5 years old. So I was like, okay, I can write a bit. I'm going to have a go at motoring journalism. So I started a blog based off of my first car at the time, which was a Rover 25.
Nice.
But I had friends and friends' dads who had some quite cool cars. So I got insured and I started doing a motoring blog. Then, using that blog and the kind of decent amount of views that got, I then applied to Car Throttle for an internship.
Right, okay, yeah.
So Alex...
Was that pre-Alex or was that
no,
he was there?
No, he was very much there. He was the editor at the time.
Yeah.
And I got a summer internship there.
Yeah.
And I also got an internship at Auto Express. So like those two, quite heavy hitting. One kind of old school magazine and one sort of up and coming youngsters brand. And so there I started doing engineering car content. Yeah. So starting writing about how stuff on car works. Going to aerodynamics, engines, all that sort of stuff. And the audience seemed to really like it. Yeah. So much so that after my summer there, Car Throttle said, do you want to freelance for us? So suddenly I was getting paid to write this stuff, which was just insane.
Yeah.
So I started doing that. And then by the end of uni, I was like, cool, Car Throttle, can I have a job? And they were like, no, we'd like to keep you as a freelancer. We don't want to take you on full time because we've just not got the cash. Yeah. And I was like, okay, well, trying to freelance from straight out uni is tough. So I then applied for a job at Evo magazine, and I got the job and was 2 weeks out from starting there at Dennis Publishing, and then this thing called DriveTribe came along.
Right, okay.
And
so did they come to you, or did you go to...
Yeah, so I literally got a Twitter DM, which must have been deleted at some point, because I can't find it anymore, but I got a Twitter DM from the head of content at DriveTribe that was like, hey, we've started this thing, and essentially they went on Car Throttle and offered everyone a job.
Really?
Because they
Right,
liked
okay.
the style of content.
Yeah, the thing that was coming around. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. And basically, all of them said no. But because they'd said they didn't want to give me a full-time job, I said, well, that's Clarkson Hammond and May.
Yeah.
I'll have a go at that.
I'll take it.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
into DriveTribe as my first job as a writer, so doing these engineering articles. But then as time went on, I sort of built myself up there as a journalist, went on press launches and stuff.
Yeah.
But the need for video, the demand for video just went up and up and up.
Yeah.
And then it just got to a point where I was like, well, we need to start, well, not start, but continue doing YouTube stuff. Can I have a go? So rather than paying huge day rates for presenters to come in and represent DriveTribe, I stuck my hand up and was like, can I have a go? And it just kind of went
barrel
from there.
roll from there kind of thing.
Yeah. So, it started with me, again, doing engineering content, but then it developed into project cars, doing more and more stuff with Clarkson, Hammond and May.
Yeah.
And then when Hammond kind of bought over the entire brand, it was then doing mostly stuff with Richard, and that's kind of where we're at now.
That's cool. Yeah, I always wondered because we did NEC 2 years ago with Richard, and I think I'd spoke to you before that, roughly 2022 March, something like that.
Yeah.
And it was good, yeah. And I think we'd spoke MG Rover stuff before that. And I always remember you said to me, the car that stood next to us, which I'll put a photo in this video. It was about 2 years ago, and I think we'd spoke about the ZT you had on DriveTrive.
Yeah, the green one.
Yeah, and you commented on my photo going, "Oh, if you ever sell this car, please let me know."
Well, yeah, it's one of those situations. Like everyone says, like, "Oh, yeah, if you ever sell it, give me a shout." But it's always, they're never going to do it.
Yeah.
And then I'm right in saying you bought a house.
Yeah, sold a house, bought another house now recently.
Yes.
But yeah, it was one of them where, for me, I had so many projects. The car had been, I wouldn't say it's been done 7 years, but I've had the car 7 years. So it was, I'd say it was, what did you call it? Sympathetically restored, like a bit of mechanical, the paint side of things. And not that I got bored of it, because I love the car to bits. Like, it's nice to see that it's been enjoyed. But I think for me, it was just, it sat. And like when you've got so many cars, and you'll know this, I hate it when it sits. And at the time, it was sitting outside. And it was getting used a little bit. Like, things were getting freed off, every couple of weeks. But yeah. And then there were, like I say, I sold a house, and then we just got busy. And I had other cars that I'll probably pop up on this channel soon. And yeah, it just for me. And then, like, because you said you were interested, I knew it'd go to a good home. I had people nagging me for that car. Like, so many people messaged me.
It's a cool car.
Yeah. But I'm glad you're enjoying it. And
well, that's it. Yeah, my dream car was always a ZR 160.
Yeah.
Because I wanted a ZR as my first car, but I couldn't afford the insurance, like so many people.
Yeah.
So I had to go Rover 25. But MGZ cars were always on my mind, because I come from a kind of MG family, the family classic cars and MGC.
Yes,
so
that's cool.
it was always on the mind. And then having discovered the ZRs, I was like, wait a minute, there's a fast ZS. That's like a freaking touring car.
Yeah, it's cool.
I've got them on Day ST, so this is kind of a similar car, Transverse V6. But to be honest, I wanted both the ZR and the ZS in trophy yellow. To me, that was like the colour.
Yeah.
But I didn't even know this existed.
Well,
and I saw it on Instagram and thought, my God. I think I actually commented on one of your pictures. If you ever sell that, please get in touch.
I'll see if I can screenshot the photo in this, but I think the comment's still on there.
I wonder if you replied being like, bugger off. I don't know. But here we are.
Yeah, so here we are. But no, it's nice you're enjoying it. I know you were saying sort of future plans, you're doing some track days, aren't you? Which is a great car for that, really.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, although it's obviously quite a precious thing now because of how rare it is. Essentially, the only one potentially in the world on the road.
Yes.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But to me, it's a car that needs to be driven and driven hard. As I say, it's basically a miniature touring car. So, I've already had it on track once, and it did really well. But since then, I've upgraded the brakes front and back. So I've actually got a track day this time next week to give it another go and see how it holds up. But yeah, I've got Michelin tires on it.
Nice.
They're EBC brakes and discs and pads. And I've had some people chatting to me about engine stuff as well. I don't know whether I'm going to go that far, because that's when you're really tearing it apart.
You get to that
having
point.
a go. But the coolest thing is the TVs. And you sold the car to me. You sold the car to me, and I genuinely, because they kind of camouflage in there.
Yeah, you don't draw your attention to them.
I bought the car, took it to Scotland, and it was my brother-in-law that was like, sick TVs. And I was like, what are you on about? And then next thing, I'm like, oh my God, I've got TVs.
Do you know what it reminds me of? Do you know Fast and Furious 1 where they're staging, is it
Yes.
1 or 2, where they're staging the race and there's
Yes.
a guy playing the PlayStation on Gran
Yes.
Turismo?
Yeah,
That's what it reminds me of. So
Yeah,
maybe we
yeah.
need to get that working.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I'd love DriveTribe Live next year to get like Need for Speed Underground
Yeah.
2 going, get PlayStation maybe installed under the seats, plug it in, and
Yeah.
that'd be really cool.
That would be awesome, yeah. I'm not going to take too much of your time. I'm going to quickly
cool.
hand you over to Sam, and we'll cut this in 2 bits.
Yeah.
So
all
nice
good.
speaking to you, Mike.
All good.
All right.
Right. So I've heard if you put Irn Bru in a kettle, it's mint. So you being Scottish, you need to try it.
But I want it. So you get Irn Bru to boiling point. So sugar itself has a really high boiling point. So you could really boil that Irn Bru. But what's it burning off? That'd be my question. What's entering the air as you boil Irn Bru? Is it something that science hasn't discovered yet? You might be onto something here.
Don't know, I might be the new Einstein. Not gonna. Right.
And Irn Bru's just come out with a whole load of energy drinks as well. Irn Bru Energy. So that would just be next level as well. That could be an explosion.
We'll have to try it. I'll get some Irn Bru tomorrow. We'll get a kettle and we'll try it.
That's something that could get like 1 million views on YouTube.
Yeah.
Boiling Irn Bru until it some sort of nuclear explosion.
Until it sets on fire, really.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Don't do it at home.
No. Right. On that interview that you had with James,
Yes.
I heard that you like a ZR160.
I do. I want one badly. Trophy yellow. I will accept trophy blue.
Good. I've got a 160. Trophy
Okay.
blue.
Okay.
Mark 1.
Mileage.
81,000.
That's fine. And good that it's Mark 1. I'm going to say something controversial here. I actively dislike the facelift cars.
That's fine.
There's 3 of them in a row.
Yeah, over there.
And actually your dad's coupe is sick. But
it's a match.
I don't like the sort of mould, like one big mould bumper front end. I think the upper grille is
it
way
breaks
cooler.
up a bit, doesn't it?
Mark 1 is the one.
The only thing is, it's a race car. You can use it on a track day. Track day.
How badly has it been ruined? Has it been in a barrier, for example, at any point in its life?
No.
Okay.
It's only done one track day around Donington. It did 5 laps in the head gasket.
And is it 160 or does it have? Is it like the sort of 190 cammed?
No, it's
jobs?
It's a 160 just with.
So it's had
coilovers.
no engine work.
No.
Okay.
It's on its original engine.
Okay.
Just head gaskets in 2 pieces.
So has it been skimmed and sorted by your dad?
No, it hasn't been sorted yet.
Right.
It were exploded.
So this is a 400 quid car all day.
Well,
I'm going to put this back. Clearly, it's not on the cards.
it's got a roll cage in it, and they're worth like 700 quid. So
Yeah,
it's got a full titanium
As
exhaust
someone
on
who
it.
wants a road car, I've got my track car.
Yeah,
That does that. As someone who would
track car.
want a road car, I would need to retroactively go back in and rip all that stuff out.
Yeah.
Is this what you're doing? Is
wants
this what
an
this is about?
interior.
Are you trying to sell me that? Is this just a sales pitch for a trophy blue MG?
I don't know.
So
It
currently the answer's no, I'm afraid. Fine, if trophy blue proper road car with my leather seats and stuff, sure.
Oh, it's got a Cobra bucket seat in it at the moment, and it is uncomfy.
Yeah. That hurts you up the sides after a couple of laps.
Yeah. Right. Anyway. With the DriveTribe channel, how did you get involved with Smallest Cog and Richard Hammond?
So DriveTribe was founded by Clark Hammond and May and Wilman, to be fair. But as it progressed, and we actually DriveTribe was a social media platform for cars itself, and it had the YouTube channel, the Facebook and stuff as well. But it was this platform. Now that shut down in 2021. And the decision came, does DriveTribe just cease to exist? Or does the brand keep going? And basically Richard had a look at what we had and thought, you know what, I'm going to keep this going. So thankfully, he bought the DriveTribe brand, bought out the rest of them, so he's the sole boss. and yeah, took it on from there. The main thing being the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So that was going really well, and pretty much at the same time, he then decided to form his own classic car workshop near where he lives in Hereford. So that was the smallest cog, and the Discovery Channel wanted to do a TV show based off of that workshop.
Yeah.
So DriveTribe and the smallest cog have kind of like grown up with each other, us on YouTube and them on TV. And then what's really cool is we've had commercial deals with Discovery to basically create videos to advertise the TV show. So we've been like really intrinsic to each other and have kind of helped each other grow. But even the smallest cog guys, the greenhouses, they have said if it weren't for DriveTribe and us showing off what these guys can do in their workshop, they probably wouldn't have got their TV show. So it's really cool that we could sort of contribute in that way. It was cool.
Cool. Would you, if you could have as much money in the world, would you have an SV?
No, is the answer. I have driven an MGSV, and I'm sure he's a pal of your dad's.
Yeah, Dusty Blue didn't want it.
Yes, yeah, lovely car, lovely colour, and I'm really glad that the owner trusted me to drive it about. He's very chill.
Yeah, it should be here
but
tomorrow.
It should handle better than it does. I like the engine, and I it's maybe slightly underpowered, like it's like 300 and something.
Yeah, something like that.
To me, that should be 400 or 500. Really, I'm guessing a supercharger would probably take it up.
You could put supercharger, then maybe you could put NOS on it. Then it might put 1,000.
Well, that was the whole sort of myth. I don't know if that was actually a legitimate thing.
Yeah.
But it just we were driving it around these country roads, and I was like, I mean, this is cool. This is a great tick in the box, like bucket list for me. But a 911 would literally run rings around this thing.
Yeah.
So they're cool for what they are. They're rare beasts, and they look amazing. I love the design.
Yeah.
But that to me, they just don't quite stack up performance-wise
as a ZS
versus a car that actually punches well above its weight.
Yeah.
Like that is, I don't want to blow my own car's trumpet, but like that is, I would say, one of the best handling front-wheel drive cars I've ever driven. It's fantastic, and like the one thing Rover nailed is the chassis.
Yeah.
Even my Rover 25. Like it just feels great in the same way that like Ford nailed the Fiesta. Like there's just proper engineering done to mundane cars, and it makes so much of a difference. All of the MG Rover stuff, the chassis are fantastic.
Yeah. So, would you take my ZR for a drive if when my 135 is done? Could you do a review on it?
Sure. But the track prepped one.
No, the Mark II, even though you don't like Mark IIs.
Oh, the Mark II. Sorry, the one that you've just shown me has got massive rust holes in it.
Yeah, it's got holes about that big in it,
so maybe in 2035, I'll take that for a spin around the Yorkshire Dales.
Yeah, but, it might be next year, actually.
Well, how about I will hopefully have bought a ZR 160 by then, so we could do a twin test. I don't know if there's any mechanical difference. You can tell me if there's any mechanical difference between a Mark 1 and a Mark 2. Or are they literally the same car with different... James is giving me the nod to say they're literally the same car but with different front bumpers. Okay, cool. Right.
The Mark 2s were a lot... Build it and get it out to the Longbridge to get it into the showrooms. Well, the Mark 1s, they actually put a couple of brain cells into it, shall we say.
But what I want to do, to be honest, is I want to buy a ZR 160, hand it to your dad and say, cool, I want 200 horsepower out of this, go. Because I know 190s are possible on the racetrack.
Yeah.
And I want a bit more. So I want to get a badge made that says 200 and have ZR 200 on it. Super cami engine, maybe throttle bodies or something on it, but I think that could be really cool.
What I've noticed is someone's got a 160 VVC, and then turboed it and then lost 20 horsepower.
Interesting, because the variable valve timing just goes to crap.
It kind of cancelled it out.
Yes.
So
not
turbo
surprised.
it.
Also, I'm see when someone tells me they've T16 swapped, their ZRs, I actually get angry.
Yeah.
Because I've saved a 620 Ti from the scrap heap, and I absolutely love that car, Reggie.
Yeah.
And the reason they're so few and far between is because so many people put them in their ZR160. So people come up to me like, "Oh, you'll really like my car. It's a T16 swap ZR," and I'm like, "You what?
Get out!
What have you done?" And some of them have got rid of the VVC, and I'm like, honestly, you've made your car substantially worse.
I mean, yeah. So we saved a Tomcat Turbo,
right,
from being put in a ZR.
Well, exactly.
It were going to be it were a 1.4. The ZR were a knackered 1.4. So they says, "Oh, we'll just put a T-Series turbo in it." They get it lined up, and we were like, "Hang on a minute, no."
But keep the Rovers going, because they're worth way more.
And they were built better than the MGs.
Like, the coupes are like serious. They're like 8-9 grand now. Like they're serious. My 600 I bought for 1,500 quid, but I'd like to think now the way the market's gone, that's actually worth a few bob now.
That's why you should keep it for a few more years and then sell it.
Well, it's going to be for Pride of Longbridge 25.
Yeah.
I don't know between this and the Rover which one to bring. Probably the Rover, because this has been actually to a couple of shows now. I took this to Shedfest. There was the Auto Alexis Shedfest. Then DriveTribe Live, and then I took it. No, that was a Mondeo. Well, I've brought it here. So this has seen a few shows. So I imagine next year will be the year of Reggie the Rover.
Reggie the Rover. In its good Kingfisher blue.
Yes, of course. I'm just, I'm just sticking by it. It's still Kingfisher blue.
Yep.
Whatever.
Not Cayman blue.
Annoyingly, the tartan on the door cards. What obviously didn't happen is the old Rover glue wasn't fully stripped back. And the old Rover glue seems to have reacted with the new glue, so the tartan on the door cards has started to peel back away. So it needs a bit of interior stuff. Whereas, to be honest, your mum,
she does do that.
She was it on this?
Yeah, she does
headlining on this. She did a fantastic job.
She doesn't mind.
Yeah, I might bring Reggie up to you and see if we can get that sorted.
That's cool.
But
that's cool.
No, it's a properly unique car. But I think the two of them combined are actually two very cool, unique cars. I'm very happy that they're mine.
Yeah. Also, would you have a BRM?
Again, no. Well, if it was like any other MG Rover, yes, no.
Yeah.
Because I'd want a ZR160. The BRMs are cool. They're a bit much. I think they'd be cooler, I think, if their interiors were less garish. So like that, like maroon diamond stitch that those things have, kind of chrome going on. I get it. I get why there's a bit of a cult, and there's normally like a BRM like section here. That they seem to have
it's over there.
Yeah, they seem to have a really good following. But not for me. As I say, trophy yellow ZR, just it's genuinely my dream car. It's that and an Audi R8. Genuinely has that much pull with me, because it was a car I wanted when I was 17 and couldn't get. So hopefully at some point the values have gone crazy though. Like if there was literally the perfect car, 3-door trophy yellow ZR160 on eBay, but he wanted like 9 grand.
It's done like 12,000 miles or something. I saw that car.
For me to give your pal 4.5 grand for this. It was by far the most expensive car. I'm a 1,500 quid all day guy. This do you know what? It has been worth it.
Yeah.
But this is the most expensive car I've bought by a factor of 3. So I mean, in my mind, I was like, "Oh Jesus!" But no, it has been really, really cool. But for the ZR, it would need to be less than this. The number in my head is 2.5. But I don't know if these days 2.5 grand is for one that's got massive holes in it and stuff still. But fingers crossed someone comes out the woodwork. I've got the car you want. Let me show you some pictures. And then I'll buy it.
Right, James has given us a head shake. That probably means we need to stop.
We're waffling on.
Thank you, Mike, for coming out and doing this interview. So
yeah.
Bye.
So we'll do the same at Pride of Longbridge. I'm up for it.
Mic drop.